Good evening, viewers, and you're welcome to the program Stock and Shares. On the program this evening, we'll be taking it from where we left it last week Tuesday. And talking about where we left it last week Tuesday, we did make a promise that we'll be looking at companies, and we'll be looking at companies from the perspective of what they hope to do in the second half of 2021. But on that note as well, it's important that we also share with you that the Monetary Policy Committee also ended their meeting today. I will be sharing with you what that has in stock as far as the capital market is concerned. But still talking about the program this evening, we'll be sharing with you our regulars. And talking about our regulars, we'll be talking about two big banks on our corporate result component segment on the program this evening. And while talking about that, we'll also be sharing with you market development. Don't also forget that we begin to approach the harvest season as far as the capital market is concerned. And this is the period where a number of companies send in their results and also declare dividends. So we'll be sharing with you which companies have declared their results and what is likely to happen next. And also on the program, we have our regulars, again, talking about corporate results, which is the two big banks, talking about company of the week, talking about market development, and talking about many more. But for our first-time viewers, one of the things that we'll also urge you to do is to use the two platforms that we'll be sharing with you on the program this evening. You can reach us on an SMS, and you can also reach us on the email platform. But what both does for us is that it helps us to aggregate the viewers' position as to what they want next as far as the program is concerned. And that is basically what we then do in subsequent edition. Again, like we say a couple of times in the past, this program is bottom up. The reason that we're on air is basically to have you derive maximum benefit as to what's happening and development in the capital market in Nigeria is all about. And it's also on that note that we want to thank you for being part of the team that kept us on air for the last 15 years. So to push us further, I will urge you, please use the platform. And it's also on that note that we'll be asking that you permit us to take the first break. And when we come back after the break, we'll roll out the drums. So allow us the break.
For 3 decades, people world over have improved their health and well-being by its rich ingredients. A unique blend of essential amino acids, multivitamins, and minerals specially formulated to combat stress and fatigue. The golden promise of Astamine is being enjoyed by more and more people who have found the deepest secret of living life at its peak. Astamine. Get healthier.
You don't wait for life. You go to meet life. It's not about how many chances you get. It's what you do with what you've got. Cup after cup. Morning after morning. Start strong. Finish strong. It all starts with a Nescafe.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
You're welcome back. And if you just join us, the program is Stock and Shares. Looking at the markets, one of the things that we can confirm to you that for the 7th consecutive week, we had the market go down. But much more of interest is that all the 7 weeks has also had the last trading day of the week also going down in the last 7 weeks. And in the week under review, we had a situation where the market did close 0.69% down. And that also means that like we had in 2016, 2021 did go up in terms of volume, but in terms of value, it basically remained below the 20 million naira mark. Ironically, 2013 and 2017 basically broke the rank in terms of closing positive, because had that not happened, I would have been straight 11 years of the market being in negative. But talking about the size of transaction in the week under review, let's also mention that 2007, 2008, 2010, 2018, and 2020, interestingly, we are the only 5 years between 2011 and 2021 that the market traded over 2 billion units and over 20 billion naira worth. And looking at the next chart, which is basically a more detailed position as to what the market watch is all about, is that sectorially, again, you will find that the all share index, like I said, had 7 straight weeks of being down, but it wasn't doing that alone, because the NSE 30 also had 7 straight weeks of being down. Lotus also had 7 straight weeks of being down. However, for the pension subsector, he recorded the first gain in the last 7 weeks. Similarly, the premium sector also recorded the first gain in 7 weeks. And then the corporate governance index, CGI, also recorded the first gain in 7 weeks. So that itself did not preclude the other performances by the sector. Yes, the banking subsector 2019 to 2021 had 3 straight years of being positive, notwithstanding the fact that the yield to date is standing at a negative of 8.11%. Only 4 sectors, the oil and gas subsector, the insurance subsector, ASEM, and the growth sector basically posted positive in terms of yield to date. But don't also forget, because from all indication, the NSE 30, which also posted 3 straight years of negative, looking at 2019 to 2021. But we can confirm to you that the red basically started in 2018. So it had 4 straight years of being in red. Lotus also had 4 straight years of being in red, as well as the main market also posted 4 straight years of being in red, all of them 2018 to 2021. However, the consumer subsector had 5 straight years, 2017 to 2021, negative. But before we go to the next chart, let's also mention that, like we told you, the Monetary Policy Committee had their meetings today, ended their meetings today rather, and they put all the rates standing at attention, no changes. And that itself has implication as far as the Nigerian capital market is concerned. And from all indication, yes, some inching up in terms of rates, both in the commercial paper and in the treasury bill. But we can confirm to you, this itself is encouraging more companies to go via debt. After Fidelity Bank, 41.2 billion, part of the 100 billion debt issuance program, being successful, we also now have Adova on the queue. Adova is hoping to raise 60 billion via debt. And Honeywell is also on the queue, going to do a combination of bond and commercial paper. But let's also share with you that despite the drop by the various sectors, we also had a situation where, sharing the next chart with you, you'll be finding that 2021, the next chart will come in any moment from now, has from all indication, the largest number of companies being inactive in the last 11 weeks. And that itself meant that for the market, 104 companies basically didn't post any change in their prices in the week under review. That itself is worse than the 101 that was done in 2020, but far below the 86 that was done in 2018 and the 98 that was done in 2019. Let's also share with you that, talking about market development, we talked about results likely to begin to roll in while the chart is on. We can confirm to you that at the end of trading today, CAPL results is in, and CAPL is hoping to pay a dividend of 2 naira 10 kobo. Union Bank is already in with 25 kobo dividend. Better Glass 104 kobo dividend. BOC Gases is hoping to pay a dividend, but amount yet to be disclosed. ETI, EcoBank Transnational Incorporated, is not likely to pay any dividend. Similarly, International Bureaus is not likely to pay any dividend. I haven't posted a loss. Champion Bureaus and Transnation Wide Express are also not likely to pay any dividend. But it must also be mentioned that in 2018, GSK was on the market hoping to do, and rather did, a special dividend. But that special dividend did push the share price significantly up. I'm sure that quite a number of investors are waiting for another one. And then we also had this result of GT Bank. Again, like we told you, GT Bank is doing a 2 naira 70 kobo in terms of dividends. But the biggest of the news that we also thought that we should share with you, ironically, this skipped us last week, is the fact that RAC Unity is ending its 32 years of being listed on the market. Currently trading at 30 kobo, RAC Unity will be hoping that shareholders will approve a voluntary winding up. And that also means the end of the only company listed on the market that is coming from Kwara State. It's also on that note that we take another break. And when we do return after the break, we'll be sharing with you which company basically helped to drive the index south to the point of almost a 0.7% drop. Please stay tuned. You're welcome back. And if you just join us, the program is Stock and Shares. Looking at how the market performed, first we can confirm that only 33 companies appreciated in share price in the week under review. And we had Seplat basically leading the pack. Seplat ran a 10 naira appreciation in the week. And that itself is an improvement over the 10 kobo gain that he posted the previous week. But that itself also allows Seplat to be on the gainers chart in the last 3 weeks. And that chart will come any moment from now. Probably we should start from the NASD. On the NASD, which is much smaller market, first we can confirm that it had a good rally as against the Nigerian Stock Exchange that had almost a 0.7% drop in terms of index. The NASD had a 1.42% appreciation, notwithstanding that the yield to date is still standing at a negative of 4.17%. CSCS led the pack of losers, led the pack of a one-man losers team, going down by 53 kobo. And that also meant that CSCS market capitalization dropped by 3.51%. But at the end of trading today, the company share price moved from 14 naira 55 kobo to 14 naira 83 kobo. IGI, and I know that quite a number of persons will be wondering, IGI gained 1 kobo in the week, and that also meant that IGI closed at 8 kobo. However, in terms of appreciation, the market capitalization moved up by 14.3%. VFD Group had a 10 naira 51 kobo gain, and that also added 10% to its market capitalization. And the share price that closed at 115 naira 58 kobo at the end of trading today was doing 127 naira. Niger Delta gained 22 naira in the week under review, and that also meant it added 8% to its market capitalization. And the share price moved to close at 300 naira at the end of trading today. But at close as Friday, the share price was 297 naira. But in terms of volume, we can confirm to you that CSL was the biggest contributor to the volume traded, ahead of IGI, Niger Delta, and Afriland Properties, and VPD. But in terms of value, CSS maintained still number one position, double one you probably would say, and then Niger Delta followed by VFD Group, WAMCO, and IGI. So to the Nigerian Stock Exchange, like we told you, Seplat already led 32 other companies in the week under review. And in leading the pack, he also had an improvement over the 10 kobo gain that I posted the previous week. That chart will come any moment from now. For CFS REITs, it seems to have some challenge with that, but certainly we'll show that to you. The REITs went up by 6 naira 20 kobo, and that also meant that it picked up the maximum 10% in the week under review. This itself is almost a full reversal of the 6 naira 90 kobo drop that I posted the previous week when it finished second on the other side of the chart. Guinness went up by 1 naira 80 kobo, and that helped Guinness to pick up 7.7% in the week. The previous week, 50 kobo was the gain that Guinness picked up to finish fifth. Zenith Bank went up by 1 naira 15 kobo in the week, having gained 50 kobo on the last trading day of the week, just like Eternal Oil. But Zenith Bank was coming from a 3 naira 95 kobo drop, finishing third, having been adjusted for its final dividend of 2 naira 70 kobo. But for Eternal, it was also coming from a 1 naira 8 kobo drop the previous week when it finished eighth. But at the end of trading today, we can also confirm to you that Zenith Bank did slip by 50 kobo to close at 22 naira. For NASCON, it went up by 90 kobo. That also meant that he added 6.8% 9.6% to its market capitalization. Sorry, for NASCOM, 6.4% to its market capitalization, having gone up by 40 kobo on the last trading day of the week. The previous week, it was up by 1 naira, while Northern Nigerian Flour Mills added 55 kobo to its share price, and that fetched it in 9.7% appreciation in terms of market capitalization. But the previous week, the company, the Kano-based company, was coming in from a 67 kobo drop. Lafarge went up by 60 kobo. Beja Paint went up by 45 kobo, same with Vitafoam. But the 45 kobo gain by Beja Paint translated to a 7.4% in terms of market capitalization, while for Vitafoam, it translated to a 6.1% addition in terms of market capitalization. Both companies were coming in from the drop end of the market when Beja Paint went down by 50 kobo last week, or the previous week rather, and Vitafoam that gained 25 kobo on the last trading of the week was also coming in from a 15 kobo drop the previous week. Let's also mention that of the 33 companies, interestingly, 3 of them happens to be the insurance subsector. This is important because if you also remember, one of the things that we talked about is the insurance sector remained flat in the week with a 0.01% drop. So the 3 companies, NEM, ICO, and Prestige, were on the gainers chart. While for GT Bank, that missed a slot on the top 10, basically went up by 25 kobo, went up by 21 naira 20 kobo on the last trading day of the week, while Union Bank, again missing a slot on the top 10, went up by 25 kobo. But all of that, the gain on the last trading day of the week, helped Union Bank to close 20 kobo up, while Access Bank, that gained 20 kobo on the last trading day of the week, closed at 25 kobo. Closed 25 kobo up. FBN, that gained 10 kobo on the last trading day of the week, had 20 kobo as the total gain, while Unity Bank, that gained 2 kobo on the last trading day of the week, had a total of 6 kobo gain in the week. Fidelity Bank gained 4 kobo on the last trading day of the week, and that helped it to amass a 2 kobo gain for the whole week. At the end of trading today, while the chart is on, we can also confirm to you that CAPL added 2 naira to its share price to close at 22 naira. Don't forget the 2 naira 10 kobo dividend result that also came in. Julius Beda added 1 naira 85 kobo to its share price to close at 20 naira 55 kobo, ahead of Nigerian Breweries 1 naira gain to close at 48 naira. MTN gained 20 kobo, and that also resulted in the share price closing at 157 naira 20 kobo. On the downside, that had 25 companies, but in this instance, 5 of them happen to be the insurance subsector. But BOA basically led the pack of the losers, going down by 4 naira 80 kobo to shed 4.6% in terms of market capitalization. But the whole 4 naira 80 kobo was as a result of the drop on the last trading day of the week. Similarly, Okomu lost 3 naira on the last trading day of the week, and the total ended up at 3 naira. For Nigerian breweries that went up by 1 naira at the end of trading today, it did drop by 2 naira 65 kobo in the week, and that also meant that 5.3% was off in terms of market capitalization. The previous week, ironically, the company managed to go up by 15 kobo. MTN did go down by 1 naira, and again, like we told you earlier, at the end of trading today, you only managed a 20 kobo gain. But MTN dropped 2 naira 90 kobo on the last trading day of the week. This itself is in addition to the 12 naira that it dropped the previous week when it finished at the worst performing stock. But in all, this is the 5th consecutive drop that is posted by MTN. Dangote Sugar, having been marked ex-div 1 naira 50 kobo, ended up with a 95 kobo drop that also resulted in a 5.3% drop in its market capitalization. The previous week, the company was up by 1 naira 5 kobo and finished as the 2nd best performing stock. Similarly, African Prudential was also marked ex-div at the end, during the week rather, and that resulted in the company dropping 60 kobo in total, notwithstanding the fact that he gained 25 kobo on the last trading day of the week. But that 60 kobo resulted in a 10.1% drop in its market capitalization, as against a 14.8% drop for Nimet. Again, having dropped 12 kobo on the last trading day of the week, the total drop for Nimet in the week happens to be 31 kobo. 1 kobo worse than NCR and ETI. ETI's 30 kobo resulted in a 5.8% drop in market capitalization, while for NCR it resulted in a 9.7% drop in market capitalization. But for ETI, that also went up by 15 kobo the previous week, it did drop 30 kobo at the end of trading today to close at 4 naira 80 kobo, while international breweries, whose result is also been in with a loss in the week, did go down by 20 kobo, having also gone down by 24 kobo the previous week. But of the 20 companies that dropped price at the end of trading today, we can confirm to you that Flour Mills of Nigeria dropped 70 kobo to close at 29 naira. Zenith Bank, I told you, did go down by 50 kobo to close at 22 naira. But in terms of how all of this plays out in transactions, first we'll be sharing with you that, talking about the big ticket, in terms of big ticket, there was a huge surprise in the week under review because Unity Bank came in with a almost 1.1 billion unit trade, and that itself meant that it was joined by 6 other banks: GT Bank, Zenith Bank, FBN Holding, UBA, Access Bank, and Fidelity Bank in the top 12. And Multiverse and Notori, another surprise. And because if you look at Notori Chemical, it came in with almost a 37.5% trade in the week under review. I'm flipping the chart, putting big tickets against big value. What you then will find is that Unity Bank will disappear from the top 4 to pick position number 5, notwithstanding I did a billion, which is almost 5 times what the next bank, GT Bank, was doing in the week under review. But so GT Bank then came top with a 6.3 billion transaction ahead of Zenith 3.25. Notori taking a surprise third position finishing. But in all, 7 banks again picked the slot on the top 12, and the 2 surprise team members again Notori and Unity Bank. It's also on that note that we take another break, and when we do return after the break, I will be sharing with you what to expect in the month of April, and what is it that companies are also hoping to put on the table for the April to June segment in terms of profit. Please stay tuned.
As you adjust to the new realities for operating your business and engaging with your customers, let us help you transform your business into a digital powerhouse capable of adapting and taking advantage of today's opportunities. With our best-in-class array of digital solutions, you can conduct your business, receive payments from your customers, and perform transactions quickly, safely, and conveniently, because we've got you covered with the right people, technology, and service offerings. Contact us today and let us take your business to its zenith. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
My name is Wale Kadri. I'm the Executive Director, Technical, ICO Insurance PLC. ICO has been in existence for 55 years, and we have track record. In this market, we are known by a lot of multinationals. In terms of claim settlement, in the industry, they know us for that. Settle claims within 24 hours, within 48 hours, because we have the financial muscle and we have the technical skill, capability to do it. In terms of branch network, we have presence in so many states. We also give them best of services. So that's what we stand for as ICO. We are always there and there's a claim from our clients. We've been supporting various businesses for a long time and we'll continue to do that.
Hey, don't forget the stage, all right?
Get used to the attention, because at Sterling Bank, we cater to one customer, and that customer is you. Sterling Bank, the one customer bank.
We cover mobility, education, family, travel, home, business, lifestyle. Custodian, exceeding expectations.
You're welcome back. And if you just join us, the program is Stock and Shares. Between year 2001 and 2010, the probability of the month of April finishing positive was 7 in every 10. But between 2011 and 2020, the probability of the month of April finishing positive is 1 in every 2. And that basically explains why the gain in 2020 of 8.08%, though far from the 14.1% that was done in 2014, also does not give adequate comfort that 2021 will finish either positive or negative. But let's share with you that between 2008 and 2012, we had the market closing 4 straight years of being positive. This itself is coming after 2013 and 2014 of 2 years being negative. And then we also had 2018 and 2019, again, 2 years being negative. 2001 to 2002 had 2 straight years of being positive, and 2004 and 2005 also had 2 straight years of being positive. And like I said, the 2004 with 14.1% remains the best in the last 21 years. So that itself may begin to give some indication as to how the month of April will go. But one of the things that you can also take for granted in the month of April is that very many companies will be adjusting their results in terms of dividend. So while waiting for the surprise that the month of April will bring, what then becomes important is that what itself will influence the second quarter of 2021. Like I told you in the course of introduction, we'll be looking at 12 companies talking about forecasts for the second quarter of 2021. First, we can confirm to you that from all indication, NEM is hoping to do almost a 2.4 billion profit after tax in the 3 months. And should that come to pass, what that would translate for NEM will be a 23.4 kobo earnings. But it must also be mentioned that in the first quarter of 2021, the company posted a 1.7 billion the company projected a 1.7 billion in terms of profit. Resta is hoping to do a 154 million, and that itself will translate to almost 17 kobo. But in the first quarter of 2021, the forecast for Resta, rather in the January to December segment or quarter, the forecast was 91 million. For Lasaco, interestingly for Lasaco, Lasaco is hoping that there will be a drop in profit in the quarter under review. Haven't done a 375 million, or haven't put forward a forecast of 375 million in the first quarter. Lasaco is hoping to make it 205 million in the second quarter, and that will translate to 11.2 kobo earnings. For Abico is also hoping that the profit would drop in the second quarter from a 29 million in the January to March segment. The company is hoping to do about half of that at 14.6, and that will also put the earnings at less than 10 kobo. Asad Mansard, 2.94 billion profit after tax, but the earnings, quite a number of persons will be wondering, will be just 8.2. This is not unconnected with the massive bonus that was given before the year end. But in the first quarter of 2021, the forecast by the company is a little over 2 billion. ICO 2 has a forecast dropping in the second quarter, though marginally, as against a 1.34 billion. That was the position that the company had put forward for the first 3 months of the year. The company is hoping to achieve 1.3 in the second quarter, and that will also put the earnings at 6.2 kobo in terms of earning. For Cordville had 3 consecutive quarters being up, and Cordville is hoping to achieve a 3.4 kobo in terms of earning by the end of June, from almost a 120 million profit in the next 3 months. Learn Africa. Before Learn Africa, Global is hoping to do a 1.6 kobo in terms of earnings from a 12.5 million in terms of profit, while Learn Africa 11.4 million is expected to generate an earnings of 1.5. eTransact, the forecast in terms of earnings is 1 kobo, and that itself is coming in from a 4.3 million profit. But with the approval by CBN, it's also not too certain as to how that will play out in terms of their money pocket product. For Studio Press has consistently remained on the red side, and in the second quarter of 2021 is also hoping that itself will be extended to almost 39 million in terms of loss, and in terms of earnings in negative of 6.5, which itself will be better than the almost 33 kobo that University Press may be putting on the table from a 142 million loss after tax. And it's also on that note that we want to take another break, and when we do return after the break, we'll be looking at the 2 big banks talking about corporate results for 31st of December 2020. Please stay tuned.
You don't wait for life. You go to meet life. It's not about how many chances you get. It's what you do with what you've got. Cup after cup. Morning after morning. Start strong, finish strong. It all starts with a Nescafe.
For every uncertainty that life presents on a daily basis, there is only one cover you can be sure of. The Sovereign Trust Insurance PLC cover. We have all it takes to give you the assurance that life can be perfect, even in the midst of uncertainty. Come under our cover today and put life's uncertainty behind you. Sovereign Trust Insurance PLC. We've got you covered.
My family is about to have the best mian taushe they have ever tasted. How do I know? My new Dangote seasoning cube brings out the best flavor.
The new Dangote seasoning is just perfect for my mian kubewa. The aroma and the flavor is simply amazing.
Mesuya, why is you too sweet like this?
Since the time I they use them for Dangote seasoning, I they put them for my edge. Then they make my suya correct, they on point. That is why I see people that they even come by this suya all the time.
Mesuya, give me 200 naira.
Do I want you to be done past 200 naira, pa?
Introducing the new Dangote seasoning to give every meal that rich, distinct taste and flavor that your whole family will love.
To the left,
The new Dangote seasoning cube is the real deal. Try it today.
You're welcome back. And if you just joined us, the program is Stock and Shares. We did mention in terms of at the introduction that two big banks are basically going to be on parade. And looking at the first bank, we happen to be Zenith Bank. 12 months ended December 2020 as against 12 months ended December 2019. First is at the top line. That will come any moment from now. The top line is indicating that the earnings moved from 662.3 billion to 696.5 billion. Following on that is the fact that the profit also went up from almost 209 million to 231 billion. And given that no bonus has been given in the last 3 years, hence the share capital remained the same. The earnings also went up from 665 kobo to 734 kobo. Like we already told you, the dividend moved from 280 kobo, both interim and final, to 300 kobo in 2021 accounting year. However, in terms of waiting period, the waiting period moved up marginally from 2.8 to 3, a little over 3 years. So for the 644,000 plus shareholders, they've also had to look at the share price, currently 22, like we told you, but it has done a 10 naira 70 kobo low in the last 52 weeks. This itself is coming in from a 28 naira 50 kobo high. But in 2020, the share price did close at 24 naira 80 kobo, as against a 18 naira 60 kobo close in 2019. And in 2018, the share price did close at 23 naira 5 kobo. Let's also remind you that in 2017, the closing price was 25 naira 64 kobo. That also meant that he picked up his second consecutive year increase in share price because in 2016, the share price did close at 14 naira 75 kobo. In 2015, the share price was 14 naira 5 kobo, which itself was coming in from 18 naira 41 kobo in 2014. 2013, 27 naira 40 kobo, and then in 2012, it did close at 19 naira 49 kobo as against 12 naira 18 kobo close in 2011. 2010, the share price did close at 15 naira 10 kobo, but the low in that year was 11 naira 21 kobo. While in 2009, I did close at 13 naira 60 kobo. The low in that year was 10 naira 11 kobo. This itself is almost 50% of the 22 kobo close that was posted in 2008. But in 2007, I closed at 46 naira 9 kobo, having hit a high of 68 naira 97 kobo. While in 2006, the share price did close at 24 naira 40 kobo, as against a 16 naira 50 kobo in 2005. The year that I also achieved a low of 12 naira 42 kobo, as compared to a low of 10 naira 9 kobo in 2004, a year in which the share price also did close at 15 naira 69 kobo. The important that the essence for we indicating the low is also to help put in context the fact that capital appreciation, in addition to dividend, is one of the benefits that comes your way when you invest in the capital market. But looking at the second company, which happens to be Guaranty Trust Bank. Guaranty Trust Bank, 327,000 plus shareholders have also seen a situation where, in terms of top line, 435 billion in 2019 did climb to 455.2 billion in 2020. Profit after tax crossed the 200 billion mark in 2020 at 201.4 as against 197 billion in 2019. Earnings 669 kobo in 2019, 684 kobo in 2020. Again, a case of doing the same in terms of benefit to shareholders. 280 kobo in 2019 for the shareholders and 3 naira in 2020 in terms of dividend. But the waiting period basically remained flat, 4.4 as against 4.5 years in 2020. What that also means is that for the shareholders, they've also witnessed a situation where the share price that achieved a 38 naira 45 kobo in the last 52 weeks for GT was coming in from a low of 16 naira 70 kobo in the last 52 weeks. Because in 2010, the share price was 32 naira 35 kobo. In 2019, it did close at 29 naira 70 kobo. And in 2018, the share price did close at 34 naira 45 kobo. This itself is coming in from a 40 naira 75 kobo in 2017, but a 24 naira 70 kobo in 2016. So 2016 really has been a defining period for both banks in terms of having to take off in the second segment of the year 2020s. Because in 2015, the share price did close at 18 naira 18 kobo for GT, 25 naira 18 kobo in 2014, 27 naira 2 kobo in 2013, 23 naira close in 2012, and 14 naira 25 kobo close in 2011. In 2020, it was 17 naira 76 kobo, coming in from a 15 naira 50 kobo close in 2009. And interestingly, in 2009, the company did also achieve a low of 8 naira 25 kobo. But in 2008, it closed at 12 naira 90 kobo as against a 34 naira 63 kobo close in 2007, 18 naira 15 kobo close in 2006, 12 naira 40 kobo close in 2003, But in that year as well, it must be mentioned that the share price did hit a low of 8 naira 66 kobo, which itself was coming in from 11 naira 69 kobo close in 2004. So that is basically the picture for the two companies, talking about the two big banks in terms of market capitalization as far as the Nigerian market is concerned. It's also on that note I will then take another break, and when we do return after the break, we'll be sharing with you the company of the week. Please stay tuned.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
You're welcome back. And if you just join us, the program is Stock and Shares. The company of the week, probably before the company of the week, let's also share with you that CBN permitting MPF Microfinance is also likely to pay dividend in 2021 for 2020 accounting year. But for the company of the week, which we must also give you reason why it's the company of the week, Unity Bank PLC basically came heavy. Again, you probably will have heard the expo with 1.05 billion trade in a week that recorded only 2.34 billion units in transaction. That itself represented 45% of the total trade recorded in the week, and that itself was sufficient to give Unity Bank the company of the week. But let's also share with you that in terms of volume, in terms of value rather, the value itself represented 9% of the paid up of Unity Bank. That also means that some changes may also occur as far as the board is concerned, because should this transaction be one that a major investor is undertaking, then certainly there will also be some changes as far as the board is concerned. So for those two reasons, Unity Bank is the company of the week. And it's also on that note that we want to especially thank you for being part of this program this evening. But one thing that we can assure you, week in, week out, we'll continue to do our best to make sure we up the game, giving your support. But please take away the takeaways, because even after we said good night and God bless, which is exactly what I'm going to say next, you also have opportunity of taking in one or two information on the program. So see you next week. God bless and good night.
Please, can I go out with you and Mommy tonight?
Sure thing, sweetie. Get your shoes and we go.
Promise?
You have my word.
Daddy!
You know I wouldn't leave without you, my princess.
There's nothing more important than a promise. We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
You don't wait for life. You go to meet life. It's not about how many chances you get. It's what you do with what you've got. Cup after cup. Morning after morning. Start strong. Finish strong. It all starts with a Nescafe.